entrepreneur or even a career person, what do? Are you a banker? Have you been willing and longing to move from your career to doing business? Do you have that side hustle somewhere that you've been nurturing and you've been thinking, when do I expand it and move on? Well, now is the time. This is Omoté. My name is Olga Otautu, and this edition will be looking at moving from career to business. We have two amazing guests here in the studio, and they'll be talking to us, one from the angle of moving from career to business, and another from moving from business to business. Very interesting, isn't it? Don't go anywhere, keep it right there. We'll go back shortly after this time out. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is Omoté, a show focused on the young and married woman. Yes, above 35 years, the focus is to discuss issues, challenges, and propose solutions to whatever she's faced with. You know, giving her the room and the opportunity to build her life, build her career, follow her dreams, her passion without considering her status. As I mentioned earlier, we have guests here in the studio, and we'll be talking to us from two different perspectives. Joining me here in the studio is Mrs. Ike Olubiobako. We're glad to have you here. She is the Chief Responsibility Officer of Listen Bay. I'm sure you've heard about it. She was formerly a banker who resigned to develop and pursue her passion in confectionery, sugar craft, and craft decorations. Amazing. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you here. And just seated right beside her is Miss Oluwatoyin Omange.
Yes.
She is an entrepreneur as well. She is an events planner. And also, wait for this, she is a farmer. Yeah, you heard me right. This is a pretty farmer like this. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
We are so excited to have you here. Beginning with you, ma'am.
Yeah.
You were once a banker. Please tell us your story, because the essence of today's show is all about encouraging a young Omoté out there who wants to move from career to business, who has been struggling, and how do I get this going? You know, please share your story with us.
Well, most importantly, I would like to advise the young old ladies out there that the most important thing is to have a passion for something, to love doing something, and of course, making money from that passion and purpose. We were all created for a purpose. The truth of the matter is I wasn't created to be a banker. I was just trying to fulfill. Well, you know, your parents want you to be something, your parents want you, to have that professional look
with all
and
the
all
suits
that.
and heels.
Exactly.
It's really very beautiful, actually.
It is. Even after I left, when I started marketing, I used to dress like a banker because I would go to the bank, dress very nicely like a banker to get the the business.
The business and it counts.
Yeah.
So what motivated you to switch in professions?
The absolute truth was passion. I went for a program. They were talking about turning your passion into a successful business, and it was like the lady was talking to me because before then I'd always been the baker at home, the cook, the chef, everything. I love baking. I love working with my hands. I love cooking. So I always thought I was going to do that in the future. But somehow because of societal, but after I went for that program, it was a turnaround for me. Yeah, I just thought, because she gave different examples. And this was way back. In recent times it's easy to be a makeup artist, to be a baker and all that. But then this was like maybe about 19, 20 years ago.
Oh.
Exactly. So shifting to such was not popular.
Yes.
But passion and direction and the will of God took me out of the industry to go into baking.
We'll come back to the question if you feel there, because we don't even need to ask. You can see that. Okay, Mr. Mange, we're talking about making a career shift, not paradigm shift now. So, what was your story like? What made you to take that decision?
Okay, I was initially doing event planning. Yeah, so I went for a conference in South Africa, an African and Middle East conference. So on my way back at the airport, I met a businessman who was traveling alongside with me. So we just got talking about businesses in Nigeria, what he was doing, what he was coming in for. And we got into the conversation of farming agriculture. And he introduced me to hydroponic farming. I was so intrigued interesting. It was so exciting when he just mentioned that. I didn't really understand what it was.
Yeah.
When he explained it to me, when he showed me videos, I fell in love with when you kind of like, this is extremely beautiful. And what is hydroponic farming? It's actually farming without planting a crop without soil. Yeah,
You're joking.
very beautiful.
How do you
Very
do that?
beautiful, very neat. You don't have to, because the idea most young people have is that you have to
Farming, you have to soil, you have to go dirty and all that.
and everything like that. But when he introduced that to me, I was really excited about it. So that actually prompted the passion in me. Like, okay, I must go on with this when I get back into the country. So on getting back, swift. I was swift in doing more research, and trying to respond to actually do that. So, but unfortunately, the way it is in Nigeria, and the way Nigeria's system runs, people were like, most investors, which I actually met, were like, it's not possible. Nigeria is so much regular. That, this and that. You can't do it. Not now. You have to learn the traditional. I got tired. Not like I got tired. Yes, it was tiring.
Yeah, it's totally tiring.
It's so negative. But I still make sure that, okay, I understand that hydroponic system of farming is high capex, but I can start from somewhere. Okay, I don't know the trade, but let me learn from that. Let me start from it. So that's where
I think we can actually summarize that into learning how to drive a manual car or learning how to drive automatic car. So whether it's manual or it's automatic, you just know how to drive a car. So that's pretty cool.
So that's how I started. Yeah, I got it learned in Abeokuta. So from there,
and you live in Lagos.
Yeah, I live in Lagos. So it's just like twice, 3 times a week. I travel down to Abeokuta.
I have to cut you there, so you don't take us the whole story. I'm going to ask you what the farming is really all about. You're actually delving there now. Okay, let's keep it going. Short break, and when we return, we'll be talking deeply into what your profession and your career is all about. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. This is Steve Omoté, and we're talking about transitioning from your career into business, or moving from being a career person to becoming an entrepreneur. So, Auntie Pat, can you please tell us what has changed in your work routine? Is something definitely has changed? You don't have the time to yourself and all that.
Well, like people that are not in business always think going into business gives you all the time in the world. Actually, it's not exactly true. I'm saying it's not exactly true because you could decide to say, okay, I want to have all the time in the world, but at the same time, you have a schedule, you have things to do, so you have goals to accomplish, so you will not make as much or do as much as you want to do if you want to have all the time in the world. So even as an entrepreneur, you spend more time building your business, building your baby, you understand? So with the work, of course, you have an opening time, you have a closing time. But when I started, I could work all night, do night videos in my kitchen, baking and all that. So I would say gradually, as you move from a startup to growing a business, you balance out a bit because you bring people in, you bring a team in, you have people helping you. So, but in the beginning, the truth of the matter is, your time is taken out of you. It's not like living paid employment and you have all the time in the world. That's the truth of the matter. Yeah.
That's true. I agree with you. Okay, what would you say is more challenging? Being in business or being a career person?
You see, I would like to put it this way. You see, everybody is cut out for different things. Some people have a purpose to be career people. So I don't want to say one is more challenging or one is less challenging.
They all have their own challenges.
Every career and every business has its own challenges. You understand? So I can't say one is more challenging than the other. It depends on what you're cut out for. It depends on your purpose. It depends on what you've been called to do. Business is challenging. Career is challenging. Because I'm sure if you're talking to somebody working in the career industry, they will tell you it's challenging. But one thing is, as a business person is more, with a career, you are regimented. This is your job description. This is what you're supposed to do. And again, to even move higher as a career person, you've got to think like a business person. So, as a business person, you expend your brain, your energy, and all that more.
Yeah, so true, so true. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say to that? What has changed from what you were doing before as an entrepreneur to what to in farming? This one, because that farming, you need to please take us deep into. I'm sure someone is interested. You want to get, I want to learn about
A lot
it.
has actually changed.
Okay.
In the manner of dressing, logistics, having to travel, you know, because you have to actually get down to business when you're in the farm. You're on your shirts, you're on your shirt, you're on your gloves, you know, you just have to be able to interact with the locals around you. You know, you try and learn from them as well, because I'm new to it, so really it's like you really need to learn. 2 years, like 2-3 years right now, yes.
Okay.
So you have to get your hands dirty.
And you said something about cassava. You turn cassava into gari.
Yes. My major crop is palm cassava.
Oh.
So I process it into gari, lafun, and gari level.
Wow.
Yes.
So you actually fry
Yes.
or what?
Yes, actually.
You're joking.
Honestly, because there are processes to achieving that. That's the end product, anyways. You know, from the peeling and.
I've done the story of that. I know it's no meat fit.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work. And you know, when you're still processing in the local way, where you don't have you still don't have the machinery, the equipment to actually run it the mechanized way. You have to get the locals in your area to work for you. So you see them, and you know, being there as well, you see them really working, and you know, like seriously, this is what these people were going through, or have been going through.
So tell us your own stages as this what do you call it?
Hydroponic system of
Hydroponic
farming.
system of farming.
Okay, so the idea is this. I decided to start with the traditional way, which is, you know, farming the normal way that you guys been done, to learn from it. You know, so right now, I'm entering into greenhouse farming right now.
Oh.
You know, so it has now I've learnt the way it is to actually farm. You know, using the soil, having to get your hands all dirty and everything. So now I'm getting into the greenhouse, living in greenhouse. So from there, it's almost the same thing for greenhouse, and because greenhouse is just like it's in a controlled environment. So from there, I step into the major hydroponic farming, whereby I don't need to use soil.
Oh.
So I just need the mineral nutrients, so you need the water,
Okay.
only the water, to actually grow crops.
It's so important.
Ooh, you heard that? So much to take home. Anyway, we're still here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this time. Thank you so much for staying with us. We're still here talking about transitioning from being a career person to be a business person. Well, if you're in a particular kind of business and you want to still transition, right, there's still an opportunity to have somebody in the house. And she's talking about farming, mechanized farming, hydro what? I keep forgetting that name. Hydro what?
Hydroponic farming.
Hydroponic farming. Okay, so you've been doing this, and earlier when we started talking, you were trying to share some challenges. I know when you're trying to play in a field that is not so, like people will say, you're fishing in a river that is not so, so it's not a regular one. So you had some challenges. What would you say, and how were you able to surmount them?
First, when I started, the kind of challenges I had were people withholding information. You call to ask, okay, I'm doing this, how do I go about it? Especially when I wanted to harvest, and before then, you know, I'd tried to research on how the processing of cassava and all of that. But I needed someone to help me out, so more, I think physically and everything. And everybody started giving me excuses, a lot of excuses. They don't go straight to the point. Someone will just tell you something, and you know, there are always hindrances and everything. I'm like, what's going on? How can this be difficult? How can sharing information? I'm not stealing from you. This is funny.
I just want to join you.
So what I just did was, I had to just go local, like I said, you need to get involved. If you just sitting there, you're thinking, you're just consulting, or someone will do stuff for you, and you just pay them, you're kidding yourself. I had to go into the villages around my farm. I went into the villages.
Wow.
I looked for each and everybody, all the farmers around there, and sat them down. I had discussions with their elders, and I got all the information I needed. And that is where the processing came in, and it helped me perfectly well. So I didn't have any issues. There was no issues of, oh, there was one day I had lost or something. There was nothing like that, because I did the homework, I went myself.
Okay.
So that your presence is actually needed as
So
well. Then another thing, okay, sorry about that. Then another thing is you have to learn how to start from the basics. which is right before you go into the major either greenhouse or the cooling system of farming. Because that's the fun part, because you learn from there and you realize that okay, you're going into this right now, and you can do more, and you can actually make it much more better.
Taking it a step further.
Yes, because hydroponics is fun really, because it's not seasonal. You can plant all year round.
Oh, it's not seasonal.
It's not seasonal.
And there's no issue with flood.
No, and you don't have,
will destroy your crops.
Yeah, and for me majorly, because my intention was not of cassava, it was tomatoes. So I'm doing greenhouse farming with tomatoes right now. So you have to learn. So you're when you're planting in a safe environment, you don't have issues of your crops dying and all of that. And all this came up when Dangote's tomato farm actually went down during the crisis they had. So that what motivated me more that okay, I'm going to do this. If probably he was doing that type of farming, he would have that issue. So that was what actually prompted.
What you just said now, I've only seen it in what movies now, most of the documentaries.
Yeah, but luckily for us, it's
we have so many of them. We have so many of them here.
Yes, we have already, but the thing is, it's high in capex. To get a unit of the hydroponics as in the tent, the greenhouse and all of that, it costs and the whole seedlings and everything, it costs about for 8 by 12 cost about almost 4 million naira. Wow. So it's not cheap.
Wow, it's not cheap.
So
as a career person that wants to do that, you can actually save for
just
that.
Save. That's what I actually
did. But you have to
just
start
from
sponsor, how to get
you have to mostly it's government intervention.
Oh.
You have to discuss for loans, the CBN funds, the BOI.
And you have all of that.
You just have to.
You have all of that.
Yes, I have 2 ongoing right now.
Okay.
So let me say 3 ongoing.
Oh, okay.
So another thing is we need government intervention as well, because I realized after processing the cassava into gari, there was issue of the price of gari just went down. Before then it was really high, so I was so excited.
You're gonna make money.
Yes, I like it just went down. Like, okay, what's going on? And I met some economics guy, and we were just talking, and he says if the government if the government can just subsidize agriculture, the price, we won't have issues like that, which is very true. So now it's not I'm not being careful of when to farm, how to farm, the seasons, so you don't run into loss.
Okay. Thank you very much. We can go on and on and on, but let's quickly go have a quick break and when we return, we'll cap this all up. I'm sure somebody's excited about it and wants to learn, and somebody's excited of going into baking and becoming the non-name, the household name, So please stay with us. We'll be right back. Omoté. So in fact, I want you to one a young lady listening to us right now. Not just a young lady, there are other people out there that want to transition, move from career to business. What's your advice? Especially when it has to do with the same field.
Well, I would start by saying you've got to surround yourself with the purpose of why you want to do it. You get me? Because if it's all about money, money will not come immediately. You have to have a purpose, you have to... I wanted to say you have to love what you're doing, but there are some entrepreneurs that have transited above just loving what they're doing. And they are doing various businesses. But start with what you're passionate about. Start with what you love. Gain skill. It's not just about the passion or love. Gain skill, go for training is very important. And put your product out there for people to know about you. Don't be discouraged in the beginning, it'll be tough and all that, but resilience, hard work, you will get there.
And aggressive marketing. Don't forget that. Okay, please, this story, what you have to say.
Okay.
So in this special feed of yours, but some people they really want to get into it.
Okay.
Yes.
Firstly, find what you're really interested in, what you really like.
I mean, somebody who is interested in farming.
Someone who is interested in farming. Okay, you just have to make sure you're passionate about it, because you can't just start farming and go and sit down. Maybe your farm is in Lokoja, you see that in Lagos, it's not possible, it won't work. You're going to fail, you're doomed for failure from the beginning. So make sure you're interested. Then choose a particular crop you would like to farm. Either you want to go into animal husbandry or you want to plant a crop. Just choose something, one particular product that you want to do. Then from there, you learn on it, you research on it. Then you also take a leap in getting a land and start something. You know, even if you're not going to start with that, but make sure just learn from your immediate environment first. You know, by even if it's vegetable, get the seeds. You'll try as much as possible. Just start something. Then, what most importantly, join associations. There are so many associations around that. You know, you have group of farmers and all of that. Join their farmers associations. So many. So join them. You know, it's funny because you might think they don't look like the kind of person you are. You know, when I wanted to join one, I was also kind of like, I think me and this before. You have to join.
Because
you
don't
need to
learn.
look attractive
Yeah,
to you.
yeah, you
Join.
got to learn.
Join and mix up. You know, you learn from that. Then go for trainings. I'm on a training right now, a 1-year coaching and training program in Abeokuta. You know, it's a very interesting. I just came back from a 3 days training there. So you need to keep learning. You need to get involved. You don't just say you want to be a farmer, you are getting acquainted with bankers, with someone.
Make farmer friends, make friends with farmers.
You have to connect with them, connect the dots. Go into those villages, learn where those farms are, learn which products, which crop is growing somewhere, learn as in new things. You know, you get to learn new. You know, I was passing by on my farm one day and I heard something like, what's the name of this thing? Gongoria or something. Yeah, honestly, I would like to. I didn't even know.
That's never an idea. What is it?
So there are many things and
you can learn.
You can learn. Honestly, and it's fun actually. It's fun.
Thank you so much. So, I mean, we can go on and on and on. It's been amazing speaking to both of you. Thank you so much, Ms. Tony. Thank you so much, Mrs. Gilbaku. Gilbaku. For designing the name, thank you so much. We had an amazing time with you today. Thank you for taking our time to come here. God bless you. Thank you. So please stay with us. We're calling it a day on this edition. We'll be coming back very shortly. Stay with us. Okay, and that is where we call it a day on today's edition on Omoté. It's been an amazing time today. If you're a career person, you're looking forward to transitioning into becoming an entrepreneur. I'm sure you have a whole lot. I mean, your hands are full now with the information you got today. You have all the information you need to move into becoming a business person or an entrepreneur. That is it on Omoté today. Always remember that the essence of life is to be impactful. And being an Omoté is not a limitation. It shouldn't be a limitation. So go out there, live your life, and achieve your dreams. My name is Gaga Otawati. Have a beautiful day ahead. Goodbye.